I don't gotta interlock no more. I don't gotta use one of these. I can just twist my hair and seal it. What? Oh my goodness. That's like the dream. That's like the dream. And look at this. Come on, y'all can't tell me that ain't no interlocks, baby. That's a retwist. Welcome to the Lazy and Lock channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returning subscriber, as usual, thank you for your subscription and welcome back to the channel. So yes, you read the title right. I'm going to be retwisting my hair using KRAZY glue. I'm moving away from doing the full interlocking pattern on my locks, and this is why. So I've noticed that over the years, my locks respond differently to different techniques that I've been doing. So far, I've done the braid lock system, I've done palm rolling, which my hair really responded well to. For the majority, I've interlocked my hair. When I was going to my SISTERLOCKS consultant, she was using the SISTERLOCKS tool on my hair. And now I've decided that I wanted to experiment with a different method that I'm not gonna say I invented, but I tried it one day and it actually worked. So I'm gonna share with you all what that method is. And it does involve using KRAZY glue, all right? Like real KRAZY glue, all-purpose KRAZY glue. And let me just get straight into this video. If you watched my last video, you know that I went 9 months during my pregnancy without getting a retie. So I want to measure and do a length check right now on how long that new growth is. So I put an orange rubber band around the part where my new growth ends. So I'm going to take a tape measure and I'm going to put it at the root. And then I'm going to go down 4 inches. So from the scalp to where my new growth ends, I have 4 inches of new growth. So 4 inches of new growth, and then the rest of this is 5 years of growing my locks. So we got the length check done. Before I do one on camera, I just want to show you that I did it beforehand and they just came out so good. So good. Like, it's soft, it's not hard, it's not stiff. I don't feel like my locks is gonna break off. And this is why I'm gonna continue to do this method, because I stretch my reties out anyway. I don't do the 6 to 12 week reties. I go months without getting a retie. So by the time I retie my hair, I already have, as you can see, about 4 inches of new growth. So that's why this method works for me, because I'm not constantly manipulating my locks and retwisting it and retightening it. I'm literally letting my hair wolf out and I'm interlocking it only when it's absolutely necessary. Now what I do is I usually take a brush and I brush my locks. I do this for 2 reasons. I brush it because brushing it creates frizz. That helps with the locking process. So I use the brush not only to create that frizz, but also to take out any of the dandruff or stuff that I might have in my hair because of not having a good wash or whatever the case may be. Once I do that, let me just put this in a ponytail. So this is the lock that I'm going to be doing the retwist on. Alright, so here I've isolated the lock that I'm going to be doing this method on. So this method is extremely easy. All I'm doing in this part of the method is taking my new growth and literally just splitting it in half and twisting the new growth down the shaft of my new growth until it meets with the part of my lock that's already locked. Now, I did want to make mention that this is not a tutorial, but if you do decide to do this method on your own set of locks, please, please, please make sure that you do this on completely dry hair. Make sure that your hair is not wet or damp in any type of way. And the reason is because when KRAZY glue and water initially is mixed together, it creates a white film. And if you were to put the glue on your locks while it's wet, the part that you put the glue on will leave a white, patchy, hard, flaky spot, and it'll be very hard to come out. I do have a solution for that I'm going to speak on in a little bit, but please just make sure you do this on dry hair. So once it gets really, really tight, and I mean really, really, really tight, it's getting there. I hold it, and this is where I use the KRAZY glue, and I literally put a dab, I mean like a tiny, see, you see that? Probably can't see that, but I don't even squeeze any out. I just literally put it on the tip. I put it where that hole is. So you saw when I was retwisting it and it was a hole, I literally put a dab of the glue on that hole to seal it. I'll be right back. So I did want to correct myself. I said that you want to put the glue on the hole. What you want to do is you want to seal the space of that. You want to put it on the hole. You want to seal the hole by putting it in between those two sections and closing that gap. It's done. That's it. That is it, and it's done. And that took me all, what, maybe for that one lock, less than a minute. I'll do another one just to show you how simple it is for me. I don't think I'll ever go back to interlocking again. Alright, so while I'm working on this lock, I want to make mention of the KRAZY glue component that I was talking about earlier. So remember when I was saying how you may get a white film over your lock if you do this method on wet locks? Well, if you do get that white film, how you can combat that or reverse that is by using a little bit of acetone in that area, and the acetone should break down the glue because the KRAZY glue is made out of an acrylic resin, and acetone breaks down acrylic resin. It's kind of like when you go to the nail salon and you want a new set of nails, and if you have the time, they'll soak your nails in acetone to break down the acrylic and also the super glue, that the nail glue, which is essentially super glue as well. So it's the same component, and the good thing about acetone is protein is insoluble in acetone, meaning that acetone doesn't break down protein, and our hair is made out of protein molecules. So just a little bit of background science. I'm not a scientist, but I did do a little bit of research because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing something to my hair that I wouldn't be able to reverse down the line if I did make a mistake. That's it. And look, it's not instantly locked, but it's twisted. And this goes back to a video that I made when I first started this channel about how your hair is gonna lock regardless, so you don't have to necessarily be stringent on different techniques, because by the time I retwist or retighten my hair again, this is gonna be locked. This part is gonna be locked already. And what I also like about it is it's gonna allow my locks to still remain thick, because when you interlock your hair using a tool, you're actually thinning out the lock. So I don't know how to explain it. It's like the locking process needs to have like aeration in it. So in order for your hair to lock, it has to swell, it has to expand. It goes through its own process to be able to lock. Whereas interlocking, because you're instantly locking the hair, it doesn't go through that process. So this lock, by the time I do this process again in the next 4, 5, or 6 months, it's gonna already be locked, and it's gonna be nice and thick because my hair was allowed to actually go through the locking process. Now that I am comfortable with doing this on my hair, I'm just gonna continue to do it. I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to interlocking. If I can twist my hair, seal it with just a little bit of bonding glue, and then by the time that I come back to it in about, what, 4 or 5 months, it's gonna be locked already. It saves me the time, my hair's still gonna be locked, and that's what it is. That's the end of this video. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like it, or you feel like I shouldn't be using KRAZY glue on my locks, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it, but I'm gonna do what's comfortable for me, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to make my lock journey as simple and easy as possible. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Y'all take care of yourselves. Peace.